Hi guys, good evening. I am Ilangovan, online teaching personnel for zoology. So last class we started about the evolutionary process. In that evolutionary process, we have supported a number of evidences. We have given the basic concept of evidences in favor of evolution. So under this concept, I have taken the first one, the evidences from morphology and comparative anatomy. So in that one we have discussed about the homologous organs, analogous organs, vestigial organs. A few more about related to the comparative anatomy and morphology, indicating that we have been descended from a common ancestor. So there is one process, what we call this one atavism. So in some cases you could see the dense hair on the surface of the body, or in the case of newborn child, we have a tail region, a short stumpy tail, the continuation of the vertebral column. Even in some people they have long canines. So these are all the ancestral characters. These ancestral characters, either the canine teeth or the presence of thick hair on the body or the presence of short tail in the case of newborn. So these are all the ancestral characters, and these characters have been reappeared once again. Not in all cases of individuals, in some individuals. That phenomenon of sudden reappearance of ancestral characters in some individuals is called atavism or reversion. The character has been reverted back. That phenomenon is called atavism. So the atavism is also somehow in support of evolution, support of organic evolution. So some of the examples for atavistic characters: presence of long canines, an ancestral character. Our ancestors had more or less long canine teeth for tearing the flesh. Thick hair on the body. For example, we have been descended from a common ancestor having thick hair just like gorilla, orangutans, etc. Now the presence of short tail, the ancestral character. So we have been descended from a common ancestor. So we and the chimpanzees have descended from a common ancestor. That ancestor had a tail. So these are also in support of our evolutionary process, the organic evolution. So here I have given just a picture. So presence of short tail, it is an example for atavism. See, in the case of that child, you have seen a short stubby tail as soon as the child has been born. So this is nothing but actually the vestige or the continuation of the vertebral column. It is also one of the ancestral characters. What we have seen only in the case of some individuals, the frequency is very less. Not in much cases. Now, some more important features in support of comparative anatomy and morphology for favoring evolution. So there are certain organisms, they have characteristics, and these characteristics are common to two different groups, or organisms exhibiting some characteristics common to two different groups. For example, if you take peripatus, so it is actually an arthropod, but the animal exhibits both annelidal and arthropodal characters. The annelidal character, the segmented nature. The arthropodal character, the jointed legs. I am giving only one example. So like that, those organisms exhibiting characteristics common to two different groups are called as connecting links. They are also called integral forms or integrating forms or transition forms. Integrating or integral forms are transition forms, and they are exhibiting the characteristics of two different groups. So the animal kingdom, based on this connecting links only, we have assumed that some of the ancestral forms gave rise to other organisms, or the present organisms have evolved or descended from just common ancestors. So the ancestry has been actually assumed based on the nature of the characters possessed by the organism between two different groups. So those organisms that exhibit characters of two different groups are called as the connecting links. So we have a number of connecting links in the animal kingdom. For example, the simplest one, Euglena, a protozoa. As it contains chloroplast, it exhibits, that one, the photosynthesis. So as it is having chloroplast, it is acting as a connecting link between the plants and animals, having the characteristics of both plants and animals. So another example, Proterosphagia, a protozoa again, a colonial just actual protozoa, and this one gives rise to just actually the sponges or the poriferans, the multicellular animals. So it is acting as a connecting link between mastigophora, a flagellate protozoa, and also the porifera, the sponges, the multicellular animals. So Protostospongia, a colonial protozoan, acting as a connecting link between the porifera and also the protozoa. Then one worm, what I mentioned, that is actually an arthropod animal, Peripatus. So it exhibits a connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda, as it has, you see that one, a segmented nature, annelidal character, and then jointed legs and arthropodan character. The neoplina. So this Peripatus is also one of the important questions year before last year question. In the JIPA question paper, they asked about this connecting link, Peripatus, an arthropod, but exhibits actually characteristics of annelids as well as arthropods. Neoplina, the recently discovered mollusk, also considered as a living fossil. It exhibits segmentation just like annelids. That is why it is considered as a connecting link between annelid and mollusca, but it is a molluscan animal. The prototherians, the egg-laying mammals, they form a connecting link between reptiles and mammals, exhibiting the characteristics of both reptilian character as well as the mammalian character. Now here is a picture showing the Peripatus, commonly known as a velvet worm. So it shows segmented body just like the annelid or the earthworm, and also the legs we could see the jointed appendages, arthropodan character. And belinoglasses. So an example of chemicordate. So formerly this animal was included under chordata, but presently actually the animal has a doubtful status of having the notochord. So the notochord is the doubtful status in the case of belinoglasses. That is why it now has been placed in a separate phylum or separate subphylum, what is called hemichordata. So it is acting as a connecting link between a non-chordate, that is the invertebrates, and the vertebrate or the chordate. Now these are all the living connecting links. You could see just now at present in nature. So there are also connecting links which were absent at present. They were normally present in the past, and they are called the extinct connecting links. Extinct connecting links. One, ichthyostica. So it exhibits the characteristics of actually fishes and amphibians, a connecting link between fishes and amphibians. Then Simoria. So it acts as a connecting link between amphibians and reptiles. Archaeopteryx, the most important bird, a fossil bird. So at present also we have only the stuffed specimen in Berlin Museum, no such animal at present. This animal, actually a bird, exhibits the reptilian character, for example the presence of teeth in the buccal cavity, or what we can say in the beak, and also claws in the forelimbs, and also having a long vertebral column in the long tail. So that also a vertebral character, what we can say the reptilian character. So Archaeopteryx, the most important fossil bird, responsible for showing the connecting link between the reptiles and birds, and also exhibiting that birds have been evolved only from the reptiles, not from any other groups. Now here is the photograph of Archaeopteryx lithographica, a fossil bird and a connecting link. See, you could see actually the specimen collected, that is nothing but actually the imprints, and also the picture. So one of the reptilian character in the wings, we have the claws. So another character, the presence of teeth in the beak, so toothed beak, and also a long tail that represents actually the long vertebral column having many vertebrae, that is a reptilian character. So from this one can say, so the birds have been evolved from reptile-like ancestor. That is why the connecting links also play a major role in support of organic evolution. Now, so far we studied the evidences from morphology and comparative anatomy in support of organic evolution. Now the second one, so evidences from paleontology. So the study of fossils is called paleontology. So what do you mean by fossils? Actually the fossils are the remains of the past. Simply we can say the fossils are the remains of the past living organisms or preserved traces of living organisms. And actually among various evidences, the fossils alone considered as the direct and documented evidences for evolution. On all others, you know that one only we are having some assumptions. But the fossils are the direct evidences of evolution or in favor of evolution, and also they're considered as a documented evidences because we have a proof in written form. So, the study of fossils is called paleontology. The fossils are nothing but actually the remains of the past, simply we can say. So, this word fossil is actually derived from fossilium. Actually, they are considered as the past, remains of the past organisms. As I mentioned earlier, direct and documented evidences of evolution. And they are also considered as the key to unlock the mysteries of the past, and also they are considered as the true witnesses of evolution. Direct documents of evolution, true witnesses of evolution, and acts as a key to unlock the mysteries of the past. And actually the meaning for fossil means dugout of the earth, fossilium. The word is coming from fossilium, dugout. So we have nothing but actually the remains of the past. The remains may be in the form of molds or casts, even the actual skeletons. Even for dinosaurs, we have collected only the imprints, some sort of skeleton also. Even the tracks, left out prints, and also the whole body. One mammoth, one elephant, one woolly mammoth. Just it has been recovered just nearly 20,000 years back, 20,000 years back from Siberia, the frozen soil. So the frozen soil actually the ice acted as a preservative. That is why the whole mammoth, a huge elephant, had been recovered nearly 20,000 years back. So anyway, the fossils include the remains of the past. It may be in the form of skeleton, or in the form of molds or casts, or in the form of imprints or tracks, skeleton, etc. As a simply we can see, the preserved traces of living organisms are called as the fossils. So regarding the fossils, actually different people have contributed towards this field of paleontology. One person by name Leonardo da Vinci. So he is considered as father of paleontology because he was the first person who gave the principles of paleontology. What's paleontology? So what are the actual methods adapted? Then what is the definition for paleontology? The fossils, everything has been given by him. Hence he is called father of paleontology. But more information regarding the modern thing related to the fossils have been given by simply Georges Cuvier. He is considered as founder of modern paleontology. Modern paleontology has developed so many methods. He has given also how to analyze a fossil, how to actually calculate the age of the fossil. So different things related to the fossil has been worked out. That is why he is called as father of or just a founder of modern paleontology. And when we are talking about paleontology, so what did they reveal normally? So we had different forms of life over a period of time. And also at certain time only specific organisms actually found in that earth. That's why I given the statement. The study showed that the life forms varied. Different forms occupied the earth over a period of time. And also certain life forms normally restricted only to certain lifespans or certain time spans. For example, if you took say an example of dinosaurs which lived in the past during the Mesozoic era. So they flourished only the Mesozoic era. That too started their origin during the Jurassic period, flourished during the Triassic and Cretaceous period, and now they died. And then everything has disappeared, no representative at present. So the fossil study simply revealed that actually different life forms now occupy this earth. But certain forms were restricted only to specific time spans. They were not present throughout actually the geological time scale. They were restricted only at certain period, and there is evidence we got it from the study of fossils of paleontology. Now fossilization. So how are the fossils formed? What is the method adapted? And the mode of formation of fossils is called fossilization. And which place is considered as the best place for fossilization? So the best place for fossilization is nothing but the seawater. You know that the seawater contains large amount of sodium chloride. The sodium chloride, the salt, is acting as the best preservative. So most of the fossils have been recovered mainly from just marine water, the ocean. That is why ocean is supposed to be the best place for fossilization. And also we have collected most of the fossils from sedimentary rocks. So while the animals did or the plants did, So they were buried by layers of sediments, layer by layer in due course of time, or millions of years or thousands of years. So layer by layer the sediments are added so that we have different layers of earth. And different layers of earth, we have the animals, the one buried because of their actually inability to withstand the adaptive conditions or the natural conditions of the earth or the climatic conditions of the earth. So they buried, they dead and buried layer by layer of soil so that we could receive the fossils from the top and also from the bottom. And those fossils which were recorded from the surface of the soil, from the surface of the earth, we can say, are considered as a recent fossils. And those which were recorded from the deeper parts of the earth, the soil or the earth, then they are all considered as actually the oldest fossils. So by counting the number of layers, one can calculate, as in the case of, for example, by counting the rings in the wood of trees, we can calculate the age of the tree. Like that, we can just calculate the age of the fossils by just calculating or counting the number of layers of the sediments found over the fossils or the animals or the plants, just which have become dead in due course of time. So anyway, as ocean water is considered the best place for fossilization, as we have found more fossils in the sedimentary rocks, we can say the water-borne sedimentary rocks. We are combining both water, that is marine water, and sedimentary rocks are the most favored sites for fossilization. So the sedimentary rocks underneath the sea, you see that one we have many layers of soil. As the seawater contains sodium chloride, as it preserves the fossils or the animals or plants, we have more number of fossils, mainly the water-borne sedimentary rocks or the rocks which are submerged below the soil, so below what is called the seawater, the one which contains large amount of salt in it. Now we have different methods of fossilization. So one such method is fossilization by sedimentation, also called fossilization by mineralization. When the animals or plants die, what will happen? Their original organic body parts are replaced by certain minerals, parts per parts, or molecule per molecule, or particle per particle. So the original body parts are replaced molecule per molecule by means of certain minerals or ores, for example, calcium carbonate, or in the form of iron pyrite, or double carbonates of calcium and magnesium. So either magnesium carbonate or calcium carbonate or silica. So these are all the different elements or the minerals which are taking part in replacing the organic components of a living matter. And that method of fossilization, where the original body parts are replaced by minerals or by sediments, then it is called petrification. And those fossils are called petrified fossils. And for petrification, actually we are taking either silica or calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate or even iron pyrite. So based on the nature of the minerals involved, we can say the petrified fossils into different types. If it is by means of calcium carbonate, then it is called carbonization. If it is by means of silica, then it is called silicification. If it is by means of iron pyrite, then it is called pyritization. In some cases, we have double carbonates of calcium and magnesium are taking part in replacing the original body parts. Then it is called dolomitization. Dolomitization, where double carbonates of calcium, that means two different minerals are taking part in replacing the organic contents of the matter of the living organisms. So anyway, fossilization by sedimentation is called petrification, and those fossils which are formed by this process by means of mineralization are called petrified fossils. Then, what do you mean by a coprolite? Sometimes what would happen when an elephant or any other animal which lived in the past, they eliminate the undigested waste. The undigested waste hardened into stones because of mineralization, because of sedimentation. Such preserved excrement or fossilized fecal matter are called coprolite. So coprolites are nothing but actually fossilized fecal matter. The original fecal matter having the organic matter had been replaced by some minerals so that it becomes hardened into stones, and such one is called coprolite. It is simply called preserved excrement or fossilized fecal matter. So by analyzing the coprolites, one can able to know something about the nature of the digestive system, the mode of nutrition that occurred in the past lived organisms. That is also an evidence supporting the organic evolution. Then what do you mean by stromatolites? Sometimes we can have battered domes of sediments, which enclose the fossils. And normally they enclose the earliest fossils which formed just more number of years back. So stromatolites are banded domes of sediments that contain earliest fossils, and coprolites are nothing but fossilized fecal matter. They are in the form of stones only. So even you know that one, the coal and petrol, they are considered as actually the fossil fuel, because in the Mississippi period, Carboniferous period, and the forest which sunk into the bottom and when compression process, so that now at present we are receiving the oil, the petrol, and also the coal. They are nothing but actually the past lived plants, and they form because of that what is called the combustion process. So fossil fuels like coal as well as petrol also considered as a fossil, giving evidences in support of evolution. Now what are the different types of fossils? I mentioned already. In some cases the original body of the organism has been just preserved as such. What I said, one woolly mammoth which has been collected nearly 20,000 years back just in Siberia from the frozen soil. And also we have the insects. The insects have been preserved as such by means of one resinous product, what is called amber. So it is acting as a preservative, a resinous product and exudate from the plant body. The insect which was captured or trapped in this resinous body, stored or preserved as such. They are considered as actual remains. The original body parts recovered. Then molds and casts. When the animals walk on the substratum, it left imprints. And those imprints, the cavities, for example, the elephant when walked on a muddy sand, it left impressions, and such impressions are called molds. They become hardened into stones. And when these cavities are filled with the sediments in due course of time, once you are getting what is called stones, and that is called the cast. So the molds are the cavities, and the casts are nothing but actually the sediments which fill the cavities of the molds, hardened into stone-like structures. Then mention already the petrified fossils. Those fossils which are formed by means of petrification process or mineralization process or by means of sedimentation process. Now here is some of the petrified fossils. See that one, the starfish, and that starfish once dead, it has been replaced by mineral parts. Now we have a stony structure of the one which lived in the past, the starfish, petrified fossil. And similarly also petrified fossil like fish. The fish when dead now have been converted to a stony-like structure because of sedimentation or mineralization. And these are all actually the direct evidences giving the shape of a fish, giving the shape, for example, the starfish. That is why they are considered as true witnesses of evolution. They are not indirect actually evidences. These are all the direct evidences, true witnesses. They are acting as a key to unlock the mysteries, what happened in the past, to open the just mystery of the past. Now, I mentioned already, how can we know that a particular fossil belongs to a particular period? And that one is called dating of the fossils. There is nothing but the age of the fossil can be calculated by different methods. Whether the fossils belong to the recent times, whether the fossils belong to the older times, and that method of actually calculating the age of the fossils is called what is known as dating of fossils. While we are calculating the dating of fossils, we are calculating the age of the fossils, we can also be able to calculate the age of the earth or the age of the rock. So, if you are calculating the age of the rock, then you can calculate the age of the fossil. Or when you calculate the age of the fossils, you can get the age of the rock. So, both are actually being done simultaneously. So, there are two different methods can be adapted to estimate the age of the fossils. One method is called stratigraphy method. Stratigraphy method. One method is called stratigraphy method. Stratigraphy method. So, and by this method, the different layers of the soil, the earth, can be used for chronological ordering of the fossils. Chronology, the study of time. So, at which period the fossils have appeared, or at which period the fossils actually have been formed, that can be calculated by just arranging the layers of the soil, and so that one can be able to know the period at which the fossil appeared, the period at which the animal or the plant lived can be calculated. So the layers of rock, stratigraphy method, it's not stratigraphy method, stratigraphy method, STRA, stratigraphy method. And this method is normally used actually for chronological ordering of fossils. In that one, we are normally using the different layers of earth. For example, those fossils which are found near the earth's surface are considered as the recent fossils, and those who were recovered actually from the deeper part of the soil on earth, they are considered as actually the oldest fossils. So by arranging the layers or by calculating the layers of earth, one can find the earth age as well as the rock age, or as well as what we have the fossil age. Now the second method, radioactive isotope dating technique. Now this method has been an advanced method and considered the most important method of calculating the age of the fossils accurately. You know that one, the radioactive isotopes, unstable isotopes. And these unstable isotopes normally undergo radioactive decay in order to become what is called actually a stable molecule. So during that process they are losing, actually they are emitting the radiations. And normally the age of the rock or the fossil can be calculated by analyzing the half-life period of such, that is radioactive, that is unstable nucleus. So the half-life of many isotopes can be used for assessing the dating of the fossil, the age of the fossil is more accurate by measuring the ratio between the unstable nucleus and stable nucleus. For example, if we are taking carbon, so it occurs in two forms, one is carbon 14 and another one carbon 12. These are all the radioactive isotopes. Now the carbon 14 is unstable, so it undergoes what is called radioactive decay to become carbon 12. So if you are calculating the ratio between these two and measuring the half-life period, then one can be able to give the actual age of the rock or the actual age of the fossil. So other methods actually available are, for example, uranium-238, it underwent decay to form lead-206. How much time required for the breakdown of half of the given quantity of isotope can be used for calculating actually the age of the rock or fossils. Another one, potassium-40 to argon-39. So these are all the important methods, that is carbon dating technique or uranium-238 lead-206 dating technique or potassium-40 argon-39 dating technique, and these methods are normally adapted for measuring the age of the fossils, and for that we are using what is called the half-life of the isotopes. You know the meaning of half-life, that is given in a nutshell. So the time required for the breakdown of the half of the given quantity of any isotope, that is an unstable isotope, is called what is known as half-life period. So they are emitting the radiations by which one can able to calculate just the age of the fossils or the age of the rock. So out of these methods, the radioactive carbon dating technique is the best method used for calculating the age of the recent fossils. In evolution we are talking about, when we are talking about recent, it is not merely 1 or 2 years or even 10 years or 100 years. It is in terms of 1000 years. So you see that one, the age of fossils which were formed nearly 45,000 years or just and below have been calculated. So in evolution the reason in terms of 1000 years. So carbon dating technique is used for measuring the age of the recent fossils, and the other two methods, uranium lead method or potassium argon method, these two methods are used for dating the older fossils. So these are all the different methods now they adapted to just calculate the age of the fossils as well as the age of the rock. And based on this only we are making what is called the geological time scale. You know that when the earth has been divided into different periods or what is called the era, Proterozoic, Archaeozoic, Mesozoic era, Cenozoic era. So these are all the different areas or different eras, and all these are all together called as the geological time scale. So the geological time scale has been calculated based on this radioactive method. So by which only one can able to know which are the animals lived in the past in a particular era, etc. So the fossils normally showed that a particular organism or certain organisms were restricted on a certain lifespan, and also there were variations, there were diversity in the organisms. Not all the organisms were uniform which lived in the past, they also exhibited diversity. Now, the third evidences in support of organic evolution. So what we have evidences from embryology. Suppose if we compare the development of different organisms, particularly multicellular organisms, take an example of vertebrates, starting from fishes, the frogs, then we have the reptilian forms, and also the birds and mammals. If the embryos of all such animals are given to you, that is the embryo of frog, embryo of fish, or embryo of a lizard, embryo of a bird, or embryo of that is a mammal, you cannot able to differentiate the embryo to which group it belongs. We will show the picture. All the embryos are more or less exactly similar. So while we are just actually observing the developmental phenomena in developmental stages in different groups of organisms, they show similarity. And such similar stages in the development in all the organisms, particularly the multicellular organisms, they suggested one phenomenon, what is called monophyletic origin. So what do you mean by monophyletic origin? All the organisms have been descended from a common ancestor. Because in all cases we have one cell embryo, what is called zygote. The zygote only undergoes actual differentiation. So that is why the zygote is considered as a progenitor of the future embryo. It is considered as a progenitor of the future embryo. It is undergoing modifications, divisions, etc. ultimately to form embryo. In all cases we have the zygote if you are taking the vertebrates. So, and that one suggested, so zygote, then we have, that one cleavage occurs leading to the formation of blastula, gastrula, then organogenesis. So all these stages are of different, that's not are of different in different individuals or are of same. That is why the similar stages in the development indicate that we have a monophyletic origin. That means we have a common ancestor, particularly the case of metazoans. So we are talking about actually the evidences. We have to know two phenomena or two just definitions. One is what is called ontogeny. If we are talking about the developmental history of an individual, say an example of human being or say an example of frog, taking a frog. So what are the different stages in the development of frog? Starting from zygote, we have the tadpole larva, then we have for example the adult frog. That study is called ontogeny. So the study of developmental history of an individual is called ontogeny. While we are just actually talking about the developmental history of an ancestor, then it is called phylogeny. Take an ancestor of a frog. So it would be the one fish-like ancestor. So if you are talking about actually the life history or the various developmental stages in the life history of its ancestor of frog, then it is called phylogeny. So the study of development of an individual is called ontogeny. The study of development of what is called actual, or we can say the developmental history, when we are just actually talking about the developmental history of its ancestor, is called what is known as phylogeny. For example, when we are talking about the various stages of development of us, then it is called ontogeny. What are the different stages of development, starting from zygote after the formation of the fetus and also the child. And similarly, who are our ancestors? If we are tracing the life history of our ancestors, the developmental stages, what happened in the life history of our ancestors, that is called phylogeny. And based on this one, a law has been proposed, what is called a biogenetic law. So this is also called theory of recapitulation. Recapitulation means repetition or a particular stage has been repeated. So this biogenetic law or theory of recapitulation has been proposed by a scientist by name evolutionist Ernst Haeckel in 1866. So what is the nature of the law? So what is the nature of the law? And this law states that, so an organism during its development, actually there are different stages in the development of an organism. Let us take the frog. In frog, zygote, actually the various stages, larva, the tadpole larva, then adult. So an organism during its development tends to repeat, that is the evolutionary history of its ancestor. An organism during its development tends to repeat, that is what we call this one recapitulate, repeat the evolutionary history of its ancestors. So the meaning for that one, ontogeny repeats phylogeny. What is the meaning? For example, in the life history of frog, we have the tadpole larva. The tadpole larva looks like what is called the fish. So the fish character has been repeated lifetime of a frog. So the life history of frog is called ontogeny. And actually we are talking about its ancestor. It has been descended from a fish-like ancestor, and that one is called phylogeny. So one of the stages during the development of an organism more or less resembles its ancestor. So the ancestral character has been repeated, reappeared, and that is called ontogeny, repeats or recapitulates phylogeny. But later it has been replaced by another concept. It is not ontogeny repeats phylogeny, but ontogeny repeats only ontogeny only and not phylogeny. Ontogeny repeats only ontogeny and not actually phylogeny. So what is the meaning for that one? So it was proposed to be one beer. He believed that the developmental stages of animals. So the animals pass through the developmental stages, and these stages normally represent only the embryonic stages of the ancestor and not the adult stages of the ancestor. So the tadpole larva actually not the adult stage of a fish, but represents one of the embryonic stages of the ancestor. So one of the embryonic stages in the life history of ancestor has been once again repeated in the lifetime of an organism. So the concept has been now replaced as, according to one Beer, it is not ontogeny repeats phylogeny. Its ontogeny repeats only ontogeny. Various stages during the development of an organism resembles or pass through only the embryonic stages of the ancestor and not the adult stage of the ancestor. There are also so many examples for this biogenetic law. For example, the case of butterfly. The larva is called as a caterpillar. The caterpillar resembles, you know that one, actually annelid-like character. So it is said that actually during the development of butterfly, the caterpillar larva represented annelid-like ancestor. But it is not the adult stage of the ancestor which is being repeated during the development of a butterfly. It is only the embryonic stage of the ancestor, not the adult stage of the ancestor. That is why we have two concepts, but the biogenetic law is based on ontogeny, repeats only phylogeny. But later replaced by another embryologist by name von Beer, he said actually ontogeny repeats only ontogeny, not phylogeny. The meaning for that one. So during the developmental history of an organism, the organism passes through different stages, and these stages are resembling only the embryonic stages of the ancestors, and not the adult stage of ancestors. Now, evidences from biochemistry. So here is a picture showing just actually the monophyletic origin. So here given the list of embryos. The first one, you see that one fish, the different stages, first stage, second and third stage. And likewise in the case of salamander, a frog, a tailed frog, and tortoise, a reptilian one, a chick, a bird, and then a rabbit, a mammal, and then man, the advanced mammal. So in all cases, you see that on the first stage, more or less resembling each other. You cannot differentiate which is what is called the first stage of a fish, or salamander, tortoise, chick, or rabbit, and man. So this indicated that they have been descended from a common ancestry. So there is a common ancestry for all these organisms. That is why it's called as monophyletic origin. That represents common ancestry. Now the fourth one, just in favor of evolution, organic evolution, the evidence is from biochemistry. So while we are analyzing the proteins in different organisms, or the enzymes, or the hormones, for example, one enzyme, the trypsin, what we have in the pancreatic juice, trypsin. The trypsin is present starting from amoeba up to man. It is the only enzyme has been isolated from unicellular organisms up to man. That is why enzyme trypsin is considered as the oldest enzyme. Trypsin is considered as the oldest enzyme. So the enzyme trypsin, as present from amoeba to man, just actually indicated that we have been descended from a common ancestor. Even for example, if you are analyzing the excretive products, for example, the case of frog. So adult frog, it is urea. In the case of tadpole, it is ammonia. So that indicated that actually frog has been descended from fish-like ancestor, the one which excreted what is called ammonia. This is what is called biochemical recapitulation. It's an example for biochemical recapitulation. So the hormones, excretive products, even the genes, even if you have, for example, genetic code, nearly 64 codons we have. There are 64 codons, and these 64 codons have been made because of the genetic information or the code just present in the case of DNA. So all the genetic codes, the 64 codons we can say, the 64 codons are similar. If you analyze, for example, in the case of frog or in the case of man or in the case of rabbit, etc., that indicated that all have been descended from a common ancestor. There is no change. The triplet code, what we can say the codon, similar in all the organisms starting from fishes up to man, that indicated that actually the protein synthesis process is normally more or less uniform, following the same method because of the common genetic code. Okay? So that indicated that we have been descended from a common ancestor, and that is also evidences from biochemistry. Now evidences from taxonomy. So the classification, you know that one. So while analyzing the classification of different groups of organisms, the classification normally gives you a clue. That is what is called a positive relationship among different groups of organisms. While we are constructing an evolutionary tree from lower to higher, we have already studied the convergent evolution, divergent evolution, parallel evolution, etc. All indicated that actually there is a positive relationship among the different groups of animals that is being revealed by the classification. So while we are talking about the different types or different methods of classification, in all cases there is only one central theme. So according to actual lineage or according to what is called the complexity, the organisms have been arranged in hierarchy from lower to higher level that indicated that there is a positive relationship. And this positive relationship is based on their descendant from a common stock. So actually they have been descended from a common stock. This is because of that only we can say they show positive relationship. So the relationship is normally, or the relation between the different groups of organisms is due to their descent from a common ancestor. So based on this principle, one can construct what we can say the evolutionary tree. The evolution tree can be constructed based on the phylogenetic relationship. The meaning for that one, the evolutionary relationship. And that one from simple to complex, from protozoans to human beings. So they have been descended and they have been actually formed from a common ancestor. So there are evidences also in supporting the organic evolution from classification or from taxonomy because of the relationship between different groups of organisms, or affinity between different groups of organisms, one can understand. So we have been descended from a common ancestor. So these are all some of the evidences in support of organic evolution, and all are nothing but actually in the form of crude method, and the only direct and documentary evidence, the true witness, is nothing but the fossil evidences. Others are based on assumptions, and we have also some examples in support of such evolutionary relationships. Now various theories have been proposed to explain the concept of evolution. Different people have given their ideas or concepts or hypotheses to explain the organic evolution. So there are four basic actually laws, or we can say four basic concepts have been proposed by four different people or groups of people, and that one support actually the organic evolution. So the following theories normally have been explained by different people to explain the scientific basis of organic evolution. And out of this one, we have the first one, the Lamarckism, as proposed by Lamarck, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. The second one, Darwinism, as proposed by Charles Robert Darwin, or Robert Charles Darwin, and also by Alfred Russel Wallace. The third one, mutation theory, as proposed by Hugo de Vries. And the fourth one, modern synthetic theory, proposed by different people. For example, T.K. Chudovsky, J.L. Stebbins, R.R. Reich, R.A. Fisher. So many people contributed for the development of modern synthetic theory. Of all these theories, the most accepted theory of evolution is the last one, the modern synthetic theory. Though we have different theories proposed by different people, and each one has its own merits and demerits, but the most accepted one at present is the modern synthetic theory of evolution. So let us go through one by one. So what is Lamarckism? What are the basic concepts or hypotheses or the propositions based by that person, Lamarckism. And this person, that is Jean-Baptiste de Lamarck, is well known for his theory, the concept. He has proposed this concept in his book. The name of the book, Philosophy Zoology, in 1809. Philosophy Zoology. So in that book, he has given his basic concept, inheritance of acquired characters. That is a basic concept as explained by Lamarck, inheritance of acquired characters. Any character that has been acquired by an organism during its lifetime can automatically be transmitted to the next generation. That is a basic concept. Suppose, for example, a person getting ear boring, that character has also been transmitted to the next generation according to Lamarck. There are also some actual objections to him. Now let's see one by one. So he is known for the inheritance of acquired character. Any character that has been acquired by an organism during its lifetime is automatically transmitted to the next generation. So what are the basic concepts of his theory? So we have a brief account of theory. So when you have the living organisms or their body parts tend to increase slowly in course of time due to what will happen, some internal forces of life. Some internal forces are acting and making the organisms to grow in size and making the organism's body parts to increase in size gradually in due course of evolution. Suppose we had a small organism and that organism in the next stage had become more in size and gradually acquired the maximum size and reached the culmination now at present. So anyway, the first proposition as proposed by him is nothing but actually each and every organism tends to increase in size. Either the organism or its body parts tend to increase in size. This is because of certain internal forces of life. That force actually makes the organism to show such increase in size or modifications. The best example given for this one actually the evolution of horse. Normally the modern horse Equus caballus has been evolved from a small ancestral form, and that is called Eohippus or Hieracothidium, a small ancestral form which lived millions of years ago. So it has passed on different intermediate stages. For example, Mesohippus, Merychippus, Pleohippus, and finally Equus. So there are, I am just limiting only a few stages. So it passed through a number of intermediate stages and finally reached the culmination, the maximum size, the one for the present horse. And normally we are talking about more importance in evolution for the evolution of horse because it is an animal which evolved along with the human beings. So there are evidences actually which has given some support for the evolution of man. So this one evolved along with the human beings. That is why in evolution normally we are giving more importance to horse evolution as we are giving importance for human evolution. So this is the oldest organism just actually considered as in terms of evolution. The organism, the ancient organism, we can say that one being studied more and more in course of evolution or in the field of evolution. So this is the first one, the small tiny animal have been modified into the present Equus caballus, what is called the modern large form, in course of time. So further he had given a number of fossil evidences. So that what happened from small to higher level happened. But in later years, so for example, this is the smallest form, then gradually increases like that. So I am taking the smallest from here. So this is what is happening during the course of evolution. But later, actually, he collected a number of fossils. He had given evidences also just for his concept based on the fossil evidences. But later, some other fossils had also been found. And those fossils actually found later periods indicated that. And normally, some of the actually immediate ancestors. Suppose I am taking one animal here on stage. This is the immediate ancestor for this organism. This is the immediate ancestor. Some of the immediate ancestors were smaller. So normally you see that one, the size has to increase according to the concept. But some of the fossil evidences later indicated that some immediate ancestors were smaller. See, this This is the next organism, larger, but in between these two, you have to get somewhat intermediate stage, but it is smaller. And because of that one, its concept, the first concept or the proposition had been declined by different evolutionists. So you can see that one, what happened as per the Lamarckian concept. So the Eohippus, the smallest one, it is also called Hieracothe, which lived millions of years ago. And we have what is called Mesohippus, then Merychippus, and also we have Pleohippus, and finally the modern Equus caballus came into being. So the gradual increase in size of the organism happened to occur. This is the first proposition or the concept proposed by Lamarck. What was his second? What was his second concept? The second proposition. So when there is a need for an organism, new organs or characters are developed in order to meet the needs of the new want. When there is a need, when the organism wanted to have one structure in his mind, that organ has developed, that organ has increased in size. That is, modifications occur in that organ. That is the second concept. So new organs or characters are developed in order to meet the needs of the new want. When there is a need for a new character, when the organism is thinking, the inner urge in that thinking leads to the development of a new character. And further he had given the lengthening of neck in giraffe. The ancestral giraffe was very small. It had only a short neck. It was roaming in African grasslands, just grazing normally the grasses. Once all the grasses have been consumed, when the forest or the grasslands had been deserted, there was no other way for the giraffe to get the food from the leaves of it. For that, it stretched its neck to get the leaves. Going on stretching for millions of years, for a longer duration, with a strong inner urge to have a long neck. And because of that only, the long-necked giraffe evolved as per the concept. Now, another one, the third concept, I will show the picture later. The giraffe had stretched its normally the neck, stretching for a long time. The inner urge, that is inner urge in its mind to have a long neck. As a result, as a mere want to meet the needs, the long neck developed in the case of giraffe. Now, the third concept, use and disuse concept. So the development of particular organs, and their use, normally proportional to the activities of these organs and the usage of them. So the development of organ and the usage of that organ normally correlated to the activities of this organ. So anyway, normally the development of an organ is proportional to the activities of these organs. For example, if an organism has been used continuously, so what will happen? So ultimately, the organ developed more efficiently and also increase its size. If the organ had not been used, it might lead to reduction in size of the organ and also decrease in efficiency of the organ. So a continuous use of an organ leads to the development of that organ and also leads to the increase in efficiency of that organ. When the organ is not in use, its size has become reduced and also it might lead to that what is called reduction in efficiency. That is why the development of organs and their use proportional to the activities of this organ. So this concept is called use or disuse concept. Use and disuse normally of organs leads to the variation in characters, formation of new species as per Lamarckian concept. Use and disuse of organs result in variations, changes in the character. Ultimately, a new species has been developed. Now, so he has given some example. The lengthening of neck in giraffe, that is, the organ has been used continuously, the neck. That is why the organ has increased in size and also increased in its efficiency. So this is one example. And also, when a blacksmith is actually, when in the case of, for example, a blacksmith is using is muscles. Ultimately, the muscle had developed more and more and increased in efficiency according to the Lamarck. Then, what is the example for the disuse of an organ? In the case of snakes, you know that one, the hind limbs are highly reduced and also the pelvic girdle. So, reduction in hind limbs or actually the absence of limbs and the pelvic girdle is an example for the disuse of an organ. As the organ has not been used, namely the limbs and the pelvic girdle, in the case of snakes, as animals are crawling on land. That is why, because of the disuse of an organ, what will happen? That organ reduces in size. And also we have, for example, the vestigial organs. The vestigial organs are in support of use and disuse concept. You know the meaning of vestigial organs, what we have discussed earlier. The vestigial organs normally were functional in our ancestors, but non-functional at present. So as because of non-usage, they have become reduced in size, now represented as vestigial organs. So use and disuse concept, normally the vestigial organs support the use and disuse concept of Lamarck. Now this is the second one, when the organism using its structure in order to meet the needs of the newborn, the organ is increasing in size. So here you see that one, in order to get the leaves or the food from the trees, see that one, the animal stretched, going on stretching, and finally now the present giraffe had evolved as to compete with the other organisms or just actually competing for food. So this is what happened, but as per the Lamarckian concept, actually the neck has been increasing steadily because of a new want, that is to get the food from the trees. But this is the best example for natural selection. So normally according to the Darwinian concept, so we have given the same one in a different idea. That is normally at that stage, not only the giraffes with the small necks, but also giraffes of varying neck lengths were present at that time. Giraffes of varying neck lengths were present at that time. And those giraffes which had longer necks, those who could reach the leaves for getting the food, have been adapted, have been selected by nature, and all others have been normally eliminated. This is a concept, that is an accepted concept also. So according to the Lamarck, the organs normally have been increasing steadily because of the new one in order to meet the needs. But the same one has been actually approached differently by just a Darwinian concept or by Darwin. He simply believed that at that time we had necks of different, actually we had necks of varied, we had actually the giraffes with varied neck lengths, and those which had longer necks were selected by nature because they could reach the trees to get the leaves and adapt themselves to the environment, and others are simply eliminated. This is because of natural selection only and not because of increase or actually in size of the organ, because to meet the needs of wants as per the evolutionary concept of Darwin. Then, so here this is disuse of an organ. So the use of an organ, the length of a lengthening of neck in giraffe that can be used for usage. When an organ has been used continuously, its efficiency increases, its size increases. But here another example. So you see that one reduced pelvic girdle and hind limbs in python. Because of non-usage, because of disuse, the organ has been normally reduced in size and also its efficiency decreases. See that one. So if you take the pelvic girdle in a normal person, we have in our case, it is formed of two equal halves. Each half is being formed of three bones, a fusion of three bones, ilium, ischium, and then pubis. You see that one here, only the ischium alone being present. Ischium alone being present, that way in reduced form. The femur, the thigh bone is highly reduced. So it is being left as a vestigial organ. So it is an example for the disuse of an organ. We can also we know that one, the absence of eyes, the poor development of eyes in the case of cave animals, in the case of deep sea animals, because there is no usage for them. That is why the eye has been left as a vestigial organ in the case of cave animals, also in the case of deep sea animals. So the last concept. So every new character that has been acquired during the lifetime of an individual has been preserved and transmitted to the next generation. This is what we can see, the law of inheritance of acquired characters. The father, he didn't give any example. He simply believed that due to adaptations, the organism actually compete with each other, and those organisms which were successful, they normally adapted or acquired a new character for meeting the environmental actually challenges, and they have preserved such characters in them and transmitted such characters to the next generation. This is what we call this one, inheritance of acquired character. So he proposed that variations in organisms are actually influenced by the environment. So all those variations in an organism are simply influenced by the environment. That is why the basic concept of Lamarckism is nothing but adaptation to the environment as the product of evolution. So adaptation is now a universal nature. It is because of adaptation the animal has accustomed to live in a particular environment, and then it can survive if it has a specific adaptation to meet such changes in the environment. That is why I strongly believe that adaptations are responsible for leading to the formation of new species to the change in the environmental conditions. So with this I conclude. I proceed further about further changes about neo-Lamarckism, etc. The next class, as time has been completed. So thank you. You are welcome to ask any questions. You can pose the questions also, very ready to answer. So thank you. So the class is complete.